So today we are going to discuss about the 5 basic JavaScript concept that an interviewer can ask you in your JavaScript interview. So let's not waste the time. First, I'm going to discuss about what is let and const and shallow and the deep copy difference and what is shallow and the deep copy. Third, we are going to discuss rest and the spread operator. Fourth, the most common questions that an interviewer can ask you to reverse a string in a one line. And most of the time interview ask you about what is private variable and a public variable in a class. So starting with the let keyword. So this is how we declare a let keyword. This is how the declaration of the let happens. So first point is that we cannot redeclare once we have declared. So let me first initialize with one value x, y, z, and then in the city, if I again try to do city, then it will not allow me to write because you can see the error itself has came. Let me save this file, and in the console you can see identify city has already been declared. So this is the one limitation with the let keyword, and in my thinking that is a good one because in the var you can redeclare the same variable again. So moving on to the second point with the let keyword, it's limited to the block scope. So block scope means like what the things which is inside the curly braces we can say. So if I declare one variable with the name as a country and write down India, so I can do a console.log country, and then I will do a save. You can see that India is printed, but when I try to access that variable country outside this block, so it will give me the undefined. So let me print that. Yeah, so you can see that first India is coming from the line number 14, and then you can see one error is coming, that is country is not defined, and which is coming from line number 6. So we cannot use that particular variable outside that particular block. So this is some of the concepts about the let keyword. Moving to that const keyword. So the basic major difference between the let and the const is, first of all, the const we cannot change once we declare it. So if I define a variable saying state and the state, so if I define a state and if I try to reassign that particular const variable with ABC, assignment of the const variable, so we cannot reassign because constant, it's a constant, we cannot reassign it. Okay, so let me comment out this first line. Okay, so now the another point about const keyword is, so when we declare at the same time we have to initialize it. It's not like a let that if I declare that state in US, if I declare a variable like this one, so we can declare with a let, but in the case of the constant we have to initialize it also at the time of declaration. Yeah. So now there is a one concept where the interviewer can confuse you, like he will give you one object. Suppose I declare a variable state, and what he will say, you have a one variable state, and then the state variable which is assigned within particular object. So inside that object, suppose I have a two property. One is city1 and another is city2. So here one, yeah, city2 and city2 is ABC. So he will try to confuse it, whether we can change the property of that object or not. So the concept comes that constants we cannot reassign it, but with objects we can change the property of that particular object. So example, like if I want to change the property of that particular object, I can access it by state.city, and here I can do DC. So this is the allow in const with the objects. I will try to do a console.log, and you can let me type state, and I will do a save. So you can see that it's got changed. My city1 was XYZ, but I am able to change a constant object and its property with the DC. Okay, so this is the some of the basic concepts about let and the const keyword, which you can tell to your interview. Moving to our second topic, that is shallow and the deep copy. So shallow copy is a concept where you are copying a one variable which is of the object type. So let me declare a one variable city, and that is of the object holding the key value pair. So I have a one city with the name of XYZ and another city 2 with ABC. So now if I try to copy that first variable into the second variable, so this is what shallow copy is. This is what you are doing. So we can say that definition of the shallow copy is when we are copying the reference of an object. So now here, so whatever the changes we are going to do in the state, it's going to reflect in our first variable, that is city. So now example city dot 1, and if I change this property with DC, you can see that my state got changed, which is obvious that it will get changed with the city, and it was able to do a copy of the first object also. So now in the shallow copy, what it happens when I will try to do a console of this city, you can see that this same was copied to the city, and we have lost the values of the city variable. So in order to achieve that, we got a one concept of a deep copy where we are copying the object itself, not its reference. So I will start with the same example, let city, and now what I have to do is I have to break the link. Let me comment this one. So if I am able to break the linkage of the second variable with the one variable, which means that I am able to do a copy of that. But the questions come how we do that. So there are some few concepts by which you can do a deep copy, and there can be many more. I am going to tell you some few ones which you can use at the time of your interview to tell him. So first and the most basic one is json.parse, and inside that if I do a json.string. So basically what it is doing, firstly I'm changing this object into the string, and then again so the linkage will be broken at this place only, and then as I have to need an object though, then I need to parse it. So I will do a first, I will console it state, and let me clear this one. Yeah, so you can see that for now it's there is a no change, which is quite obvious that it will not have any change. But when I will do a property change, suppose if I do a property change, this one, I should be able to change the property of our new variable or second variable, you can say. So look, we are able to change that DC from XYZ. Now let us check whether it's making a shallow copy or it's making a deep copy, whether that this variable is still linked, have a still reference or not. So let's do console for this first variable, just city. Now let me save. So you can see our linkage is broken. There is no more connection between these two objects. So now I told you that there are a few ways. The second way you can do is you can create a one empty object, and inside that you can use three dots, and then you do a city. So what it will do, three dots will take out the key values from inside that particular object and will put into this. Let me do a save, and you can see that there I got a change in console. Let me save it, and you can see again. So city got changed, city one got changed. Okay. So another way we have with for the deep comp is object dot assign. So we have to first declare an target, and then we have to declare a source from where we are copying it. So let me do a save. I will first clear this one, and you can see we are able to get a new property. So I will clear this one, and then I will show you. See, first is not getting changed, and our second city one is getting changed. But this function object.assign is having one limitation. Suppose if I have a property which is of an object type, let me do a country, and inside that I have a one address, and that is xy the abc. Okay, so you can see the same got copied over here, which is fine because we are taking the object and we are assigning it. But now I did a change in the city one. Now what I will do, I will do a change in state. Say dot country, and then I will do address. I will write down cute quality. Okay, so now what do you think it will happen? It's quite obvious that that value will get assigned into that address property. Let me do a save, and you can see it's got quality. But the issue with this object.assign is it will not be able to clear, or we can say it will be not be able to break the linkage of these kinds of properties which is of the object type inside the objects. So let me open this one, and you can see our value was initial for city is xyz abc, but we did a change in the second variable, so it got reflected to our first variable also. So you have to keep this point in your mind. So interview may try to confuse you with the object.assign. You can tell him exactly what it happens, why we are not able to do a copy of that. So now moving to our third topic, rest and the spread operator. Well, first let's discuss about what is spread operator. So okay, let me declare our first one variable with the number array, and I have a one array 1 2 3, and let me do a one console.log number array. So it is quite obvious that when I'm going to do a number array, it will print whatever the value I have in the first line, 1 2 3. But now if I say that I need to print the numbers only, not the complete array, which means I wanted to do 0, then again number array. Like this, I wanted to print all of this. I have one requirement where I need to print all the elements inside the array. So you can see I am able to print the all. It's quite obvious that by accessing the index of we will be able to do so. But the problem with this approach is if I increase one element of inside that array, if I push one more element inside that array, again I have to rechange it, and I have to do number array dot 3. But with the spread operator, let me show you with the help of the spread operator what it's going to do, that it will take out your all the properties, or we can say all the elements from that array or from the objects. Now if I do a save over here, let me clear this. 1 2 3 4. So now how many times I push the elements inside the array, I need not to change this line number 11. It's going to print all of my elements. So for the basic array manipulation, like where we don't require the for loop for the concatenation or for pushing an element into the another array, we can use this spread operator. For example, if I have one another array and I want to copy the all the objects of the first number array, so I can use this one and it will take out the properties and I will be able to assign into the another array. And now if I have one element inside that and I wanted to concatenate that first one into the another num b, so I can simply use this one and I will be able to concatenate that. So let me print this one, and you can see I have all these elements concatenated with each other. Now moving forward with the rest operator. Basically, the spread operators look similar, but like it's both starts with that 3 dots. So let me first write down function get name, and let me define one argument, which is simply doing a console.log of args, and I will pass the call this function and will pass the values a. Now it's fine that I got a because it's quite obvious that I'm passing one value and it's getting received in the argument, and then again I'm printing the same one. But what if I do a change? I put the b over here. Then I have to define another argument. It's argument 1. So now I will print that also. What if I wanted to print, so this is a like static values we are passing, but what if I have a dynamic values me and I wanted to print all of them? Again, I can't do this one because this is a static function. It will only receive the two values and print the two values only which we have passed. But if this function is dynamic, it can receive the multiple values like comma c. Then again my function is not of use. So in that place we can use the rest operator. We can use the 3 dots and we'll be able to collect all the values. But inside this one there is a one catch, that all the values which are stored in args. So we can use this one rest operator, but the only change is that this argument is going to be of object which is of array, which will hold the array. So now if I pass the another one, let me pass the another value and let me do, you can see that a b c d. But with the help of the spread operator, by using 3 dots I will be able to take out the properties a b c. So it's look the same, but the behavior, like whether you are taking the properties out or you are putting the proper values inside, this is the major difference between the rest and the spread operator. So now moving to our fourth topic, reversing an array in a one line. For your better understanding, I will be writing down this code into the multiple lines, so you will be able to get the exact concept. And same thing that interviewer is checking that whether you are having the knowledge of your string functions and the array functions. So let me declare one string. Let me declare one variable that holds a string value. Okay, so I need to make it like this one. Neves. It will be capital S. Yeah. So what we have to do? We have to go. Another first way is like we have to use a for loop. Then we have to go one by one, as this S, then E, then V, then N, and then we will be doing putting into the array, or we are doing a concatenation kind of a thing. But with the use of the some of the string functions without using the for loop. So when you are doing a dot with string variable, so you will be getting the sum of the hints itself by the your IDE. So what we are searching over is we are going to split it. Split in this one. Let me do a split city. Okay, so let me console this one. Let me clear this and see our all values got splitted and the return object is of array. So I got a one array. Now what I have to do? In array we have a one function that reverts the element of that particular array. Assign it with let reverts city. And I will print this one reverse city and we'll do a save. So you can see they are in line number 14. I was able to split and able to get the array kind of object. Then we are able to reverse it. Now again now our only requirement left is we need to join this, right? So let me declare another variable join city. So inside this array function you will be having, inside the array you will get an option of join and pass this one, and let me console this. You will be able to see I am able to join it, and the join city type is of string. So now we are aware that we require the three functions split reverse and reverse dot join. So now I will be combining this all these functions into a one line operation. Basically it is three operations which I will be doing in the one line. Result, I will use the first variable city, and what it is, first we have to do the split, then after the split we are going to do a reverse at the same time, then we are going to join it, and let me do a console.log for our results. I will clear all this thing and I will do a clear of my console also. Now we'll do a save. You can see I'm able to reverse that. So this is how reversing a string can be done in a one line. Now let's start with our last topic of this video. It is private variable and what is public variable. Public and private variable. I will be declaring a one class of which is car, and then I have a one property which is xyz, and then I will be having the manufacturer of this one, is Honda. But in this scenario, and let me access this property from outside world. So for this one, I need a one variable car1 equal to new car, and I will console all these properties. Car1 dot name and console dot log car1 dot manufacturer. So I will be able to know that what is the car name and what is, so we'll be able to know that what is car name and who has manufactured this. So now I'm going to save this file to know what is in my console. Let me save this file and we'll see what is getting printed in my console. So it's quite obvious that I will be able to access the name and the manufacturer. But there's a scenario when it comes that I wanted to change a public variable into a private variable. So it's a simple one. You can use a pound or you can use a hash and do a save. So by doing, and I will do a console over here. So you can see now this is undefined. I will be not able to access this property because it's private to my class. Then the questions come how you will be able to access that. So for this one, you can do one creation of a function inside this class, and then from there you can return it. So you will be able to access the private class inside a class where it is declared. Now I'm going to declare a function get manufacturer. And here I will be just simply returning return.s manufacturer. And now since this property is not accessible, so we need to call that function only. Now I will do a save and Honda is printed. So this is how you can declare a public variable, this is how you can declare a private variable, and this is how you can access this private variable. So this is all for the today's video. I will be coming up with the more basic concepts which interview can ask you, and then later on I will be covering the advanced topic. So please hit the like button and do a subscribe.